Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back to the Apocablog. Day 1489 of finally understanding why uh, China has infiltrated our school system and stopped us from learning history because we're literally watching the American version of the brown shirts um, perform a high-tech version of a Nazi book burning. Uh, and it was predicted. Dave Rubin on Big Tech Censorship. 2021 will be the year of the bannings. The ship has sailed with Big Tech, maintained Rubin, if Biden gets in it, especially if Democrats steal the Senate. Trump, oh, that's my word. Trump was the last thing that was stopping Big Tech from lowering the boom, but I think 2021 will be the year of the bannings. It'll be soft bannings at first, and he got this completely wrong. It'll be soft bannings at first. It'll be more algorithmic depressions, deboosting, shadow banning, that sort of thing. But then they'll start picking people off. Well, they started with picking people off, and they're working their way down the ladder because they started with the president of the United States. And again, these fascist movements, they always, they start small and then they got to build up because fuck you. And so he was pointing out how they were kind of gearing you up for shit changing, where he was like, yeah, Twitter has changed the retweet process so that you have to hit the stupid retweet button a second time, but also fooling people into believing that, oh well, I need to make a comment, probably so they can see what side of the fence you're on and put you on the list. And it always starts out small and with your best interests at heart. Etsy blacklist MAGA knit hats for harmful misinformation. I should have kept the December 2nd. So Twitter says it will remove all posts claiming vaccines can harm people. Well, because you can't, have that misinformation out there. Facebook says it will begin removing COVID-19 vaccine misinformation. That word comes up a lot with the left. Misinformation. I wonder if she's hot. YouTube to remove election fraud arguments about 2020 because, well, heaven forbid that anybody question that a potted plant that couldn't fill a driveway got 82 million votes. YouTube announces new censorship rules will take down videos alleging fraud in disputing the 2020 election. That's the funniest fucking thing I've said all year. Twitter expands hate speech rules. Now, why do you suppose they do that? Oh, that's right, so that they can start, so they can add you to the list. Twitter to warn users attempting to like censored posts. Well, of course they are, because they want to make sure you don't like the wrong thing. They're protecting you. They don't want people coming back up in your grill and saying, yo, what up? YouTube suspends, demonetizes One American News Network. Yeah, let's start with the little guys. Wikipedia blacklist Newsmax following post-election popularity, and let's move up the chain. Fear of Freedom is dry, and now this is where it gets rich, folks, because these are months old, and again, they love to telegraph what's about to happen, because they want you to know that it's their dick that's fucking circling your anus, and about to take a deep fucking plunge. Fear of Freedom is driving the coming assault on Parler by the media and big tech. Liberal media tries to warn that Parler is dangerous. CNN. Parler is a threat to democracy and bad for the country. And I wish I was making this one up. Bill Gates, and for all of you that don't think there's a deep state operating behind this motherfucker, this bullshit, Bill Gates says Parler is for people who are into crazy stuff. Oh, you mean like you and your pals on Epstein Island fucking children, you fucking creep? And this is where it goes off the rails. A liberal reporter, the new authoritarian liberal left is going to be absolutely ruthless, and if you're cheering this on, then you're out of your fucking mind. Now, I'm going to set this one aside because this is the first time I've ever seen a progressive say anything that makes any modicum of sense, and this motherfucker nails it time and time and time again with every one of his tweets. But the ACLU, you know, the most leftist organization in the last several decades, outside of possibly the Southern Poverty Law Center, the ACLU is worried about social media's unchecked power to remove people from platforms. Pay attention to who's waking up here, kids. And of course, now we've got the conservative backlash, which is people like Greg Gutfeld, Limbaugh, Levin, Lou Dobbs have all told Twitter to go fuck its mother and canceled their accounts. But I think Limbaugh beat me, but I beat them. So, followers. The purge is here. Twitter banning influencers on the right, removing their followers. Conservative treehouse deplatformed by WordPress. Twitter allows hang Mike Pence to trend after Trump is banned for inciting violence. And Silicon Valley social cleansing. Trump supporters are now losing millions of Twitter followers. Just leave the platform, douchebag. You know who still has a Twitter account? Ayatollah Khomeini. His account's still active. Now, this all probably seems like, be afraid. Be afraid. Would you like to dance? But this is probably the best, this accelerated program that they're on is probably the best possible outcome that we could have hoped for. Because they're forcing us into action. You know, the right in this country has a terminal case of fucking, can you just leave me the fuck alone, please? And they're really bad about getting up and saying, okay, now I'm going to make you leave me the fuck alone. But these moves are going to force this into the courts. And while the courts will probably say that Facebook and Twitter can ban whoever the fuck they want for whatever reason they want, what they're going to have more trouble saying is that the companies that supply the servers, the backbone of the interwebs, the server providers have to be deemed to be public utilities, like the phone company was. And you can't just ban somebody because you don't like them. You can't deny them access to the new telephone. So, you know, because and the judges making that judgment call would make sense because look, if you don't like Twitter, don't use Twitter. But that same rule can't apply to the internet. It's like, I'll just go to another internet. Well, there isn't another internet. Well, there is one for China, thanks to Google. Now, much like they telegraphed all of this shit to prep you for this tech fucking book burning, we covered this already. Dictionary.com alters definition of court packing. The reason given, whatever. So they're telling you what's coming. They're telling you what they're about to do because liberals, again, they want you to know it's their penis that's circling Uranus and getting ready to jump out the fucking plane door. So, it's coming. They're telling you it's coming. And you better be prepared to put up one motherfucker of a fight because otherwise, this is over, kids. We're China. That's it. If these people win, we're done.